come across with this?
Is it from the Pali Canon?
Yeah, it's called Satipatthana.
Okay.
And it's been 2 nights, if I remember correctly, going through this Satipatthana. And so far we have just gone the introduction part.
Okay.
And in the introduction part, we were talking about, there is a book there, you can, at the corner. You see?
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in page number 2. So first of all, we will be chanting, or not a chanting, it's a reading in Pali. And then we will discuss. Okay? So let's do the reading together in Pali. It's the Satipatthana Sutta. So, Evam me sutam, ekam samayam bhagava, Purusu Viharati Kammasa Dhamman Nama Kurunam Nikamo Tatra Ko Bhagava Bhikkhu Amantesi Bhikkhavoti Bhadanteti Te Bhikkhu Bhagavato Pacha Sosum Bhagava Etatavocha Eka yano ayam bhikkhave makko sattanam visuddhiya soka paridevanam samadikkamaya dukkha domanassanam atthankamaya nyayasa adhikamaya nibbanasa satchikiriyaya yadidam cattaro satipatthana katame cattaro Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu kaye kaya nupasri viharati atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abhijja domanasam vedanasu vedananupasri viharati atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abhijja domanasam Chitte chittanupasri viharati atapi sampachano satima vinaya loke abhijjado manasam dhammesu dhammanupasri viharati atapi sampachano satima vinaya loke abhijjado manasam. Okay, so this is the introduction part. And here comes where he taught, to whom, and what is the purpose, and what are the ways. So in the purpose there is, at the introduction called Eka Yano, Ayam Bhikkhave Makko. So this is the path that once you have walked, it leads to Sattanam Visuddhiya, for the purification of a being, and so on. Okay? And then, what is the path? So, and that is the Yedidam Cattaro Satipatthana. There is a fourfold establishing of awareness, or 4 foundations of mindfulness. So, katame cattaro. So, yedidam cattaro satipatthana. So, this is the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Katame cattaro. What are those 4? Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu. So, there's a kaye kayanupassi. That's number 1. Body in the body. Then vedanasu vedananupassi. Feelings in the feelings. Chitte chittanupassi, minds or consciousness in consciousness. And then Dhammesu Dhammanupassi Viharati. And in this passage, from the Katame Chattaro up to this Avijja Domanasam, is one of the very interesting opening passages. Right? So here, there are so many words to understand. Number one is a bhikkhave. Number two is anupassi or kayanupassi. There is a viharati, atapi, and sampachalo, the satima, and then vinaya loke avijjado manasa. Yeah? So these each words are very important words. So bhikkhave, here translation is monk. Right? Bhikkhu means a person who has seen the danger in the samsara is called a bhikkhu. That's the one definition. Another definition is a person who relies on others' offering. And another one is one who begs for the livings. It's called a bhikkhu. Right? But here, in particular case, bhikkhave is referring to someone who has seen a danger in the samsara. So coming back to the samsara, getting birth again and again is danger. So in this case, here is not just a monk. Right? Now this is again from the commentary site. This is not just a monk. It is referring to any person who has seen a danger in the samsara, or basically being born in the cycle of a birth and a death is danger, and whoever have seen it or have glimpse of it, then known as a bhikkhu. Yeah. Yeah? So that means anybody, not just a bhikkhu or a monk. Mm-hmm. And here, kaye kayanupassi. And here, before going into the kaye kayanupassi, there is a word called viharati. I think I have mentioned last time as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember?
Yes, I remember.
What is that? Vihara. That means a place or a dwelling place. So that's why temples, Buddhist temples are known as vihara. Not a temple or vihara. Okay? It's known as a vihara, or abide. So vihara means abide, or abode, or the dwelling place. Now here, this vihara, viharati, is an interesting word. Dwelling place. Where do you dwell? Yeah, there's a question. In a practice of a meditation, it's saying that we are dwelling on or abiding on. Where are we abiding to? Kaye kayanupassi. Here again, body in the body. Yeah? Kaye kaya, kaye kayanu. Yeah? Kaye kaya. Kaye kaya means in the body. Anupassi is another word. This is it's called a sandhi. What is it called? Sandhi. Huh? Sandhi.
Conjunction?
Conjunction, yeah. So two words coming together. Kaya nupassi. Kaya is a body. Anupassi is another word. Yeah? Anupassi. Passi means seeing, observation. Yeah? Anu means going back again and again. Yeah? Or means closely looking at it. Anu. Yeah? Or repeatedly going back. So that's why in the practice of a samatha meditation, there is a practice called anusati. There are 10 different types of anusati. That means you're reflecting on again and again. It's called buddhanusati. You're reflecting on the Buddha again and again. His complexion, his qualities, his nature, reflecting on his wisdom, his compassion, his purity. You're reflecting again and again. So with that, you get this calmness. And after you gain this calmness and collected mind, then you're coming back to yourself. And that's how you develop further understanding. The Dhammanupassi. And then you're reflecting on the Dhammas again and again. Sanghanupassi, reflecting on the Sanghas and qualities of the Sanghas. And Devatanusati, reflecting on the Devatas, the celestial beings, again and again. And then Jaganusati, reflecting on your generosity, and so on. Anapanasati also come there. The breathing practice. Jaga means generosity also. So there's 10 different anusatis there as well. Marananusati as well. Do you know Marananusati? Recollection of death. Okay. So here, another one, recollection as well. So anusati means recollection, again and again. Okay? Now here, kayanupassi. So viharati, you're abiding on the body by recollecting it again and again. So revisiting in your body again and again. So closely, with a clearly attending to the body. And here again, 2 words. Why double? Kaye, kayanupassi. In the body. Body in the body. And here, body in the body. The first body here is basically, it's like a samatha meditation. It's like you're contemplating on the body. So you're focusing on the body. So it's like a segregation. Rather than you having so much things to think about, you are purely going into the body. Yeah? So contemplating on the body. And here, when we contemplate on the body now, and you can divide the details of it. So that's how the details of contemplation comes later in the body, starting from the breathing meditation. So that's why it's called kayanupassi. So first, you're abiding in your body and contemplating, revisiting in your body again and again. And here, normally when we think about our body, how do we define our body? We will be defining our body. This is my body. My body is me. This is I am. So whenever we have this, and this is me, this is I am, this is my body, what happens? We have a strong connection and holding on to it. And we think that this is mine, ever and never changing. But here, practice, at the beginning, that's why it is also part of the practice called Vipassana meditation. So you are separating from your concept of your. So you are dividing it away. So when we go through this, you will see the butcher is cutting the flesh and separating into the parts. Like how, it's so terrible that it's like your body, and a butcher is cutting into pieces and displaying on a table and saying that this is your body. Yeah? So this will come. This is why, from the beginning, the instruction is you are separating from this body as not you, but you are seeing it as just a massive piece of a molecule. You're holding and you're moving from one place to another.
Can I ask something, Ajahn?
Yeah.
Because, so it's actually related to this, because lately it's happening something weird. It's like if I expand, so it's like if there is something that wants to come out, I'm going to call it soul. If the soul wants to expand and come out of myself, and it's really weird because it happened. For example, I was driving and I was just observing that, and I was not paying attention to the traffic light. But that was very scary because it's like it's an expansion. It's like an expansion, and that is just weird.
Okay.
And now that you are talking about, oh, it's okay.
There is cloth there. Sure.
Want another one for the floor?
So you want more?
We'll do it later. Yeah. So that was only when you were driving?
No.
Okay.
It's happens sometimes during the day, and not so much during the meditation. But yeah, sometimes, and it's just now that you are saying this, of like it's like separating the body, like if it's not yours.
Right.
But yes, I cannot explain it better because I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's just weird.
That is one of the experiences. Normally it happens when you're meditating. Okay? But when you are explaining while you're driving or any other times, and that basically means you are concentrating on something and you went into so deep, and with that this is possibility of experiences like that. So you don't need to worry.
Okay.
There's one of the nimittas, we call signs and symbols that will come. That is very common to experience those. Now, when we are practicing, and suppose if you are practicing, but I would not suggest you to practice when you are driving.
No. That's why I got scared.
I would not suggest you to contemplate like that while you are driving. When we are practicing, like in samatha meditation, if you are practicing samatha meditation, these are very common. Okay, very common to attain, and it's easy to attain that as well. As soon as able to gain some little bit of a calmness and suppress the hindrances, then these different varieties of nimittas will come. Okay. And these are again signs of your development, that your practice is getting there and working.
Even if you are not practicing directly meditation.
Yeah, but these are normally when you're meditating it occur. More you will see that there's different types, many types. You will experience that. Only important factor here is not to attach to it and not thinking that I should go back in that or those experiences is the main important factor here. It's just like a byproduct, so or like a special days you will get the cakes. So eat and pass.
Enjoy it.
And do not think that I have to or I want to have it again. Whenever it comes, enjoy and buy. So like that. So no need to worry on that.
Okay.
It will come. It will come. It's very common.
By your soul, do you mean like the knowing of, like, by your soul, I was confused. Did you mean like the mind or like the knowing of, you're focusing on the body and you're knowing of the body just expanding or something?
It's just a sensation. It's like I am not focusing, like I was driving and then I start to feel that it's like an expansion. And it comes out, I don't know, it's like something wants to come out.
No, that's that. Simply you're concentrating on your sensation and just become focused on it. And then the something that's coming out or wanting to go out is your mental creation. You don't need to worry that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was thinking, like an alien, yeah?
It's like if you are kind of floating, I don't know.
Well, you no need to worry that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right. So yeah, that basically means separating your attachment to your body, or identifying this body belongs to me, or this is me. Yeah? So this is the separation there. Now, there is another word called atapi, and this is again another very important word to practice or to think about, or reflect on. Right? And this atapi is, the word comes from so-called tapa. Tapa means austerity. You're practicing it's like heating yourself. Like you're sitting on the charcoal that was on fire. So you're heating on it. And that is called a tapa. And here in ancient during the time of the Buddha, this tapa is, even now, it's called tapashi. It means a person who is meditating, hoping to get enlightened, or hoping to gain these supernormal powers. And from the tapa, you will gain these called abhinyas. So having a divine eyes and divine ears and ability to cetopariyaya, the ability to read others' mind and so on. So these are the result of tapa. Okay? And these were practiced during the time of the Buddha, and even now there are people practicing it. Now Buddha turned the other way around. So rather than striving too much, so you put your practice to deal with your mind. So that's why here, I like the Thai translation of this atapi. They're saying that you are bringing your kilesas, your defilement, out and putting on like a pan, and you're cooking. So basically, and then now this also, when you are practicing meditation, particularly when you are observing the pain in your body, or and when you are struggling with your thoughts, it will come in a stage that so painful, and then it's like your heart is just coming out from your body and going to blast, and you're still holding on and watching it. that is the atapi. So you're basically working, dealing with your defilements and kilesas to let it come out. And so, an atapi here means a person. The translation, the English translation called ardent. But here, atapi means a person who has diligently worked to deal with this defilements and have worked properly. It's called atapi. This is a person, not the quality. This is a person who has done it or doing it. It's called atapi. And this needs to be balanced. Right? This needs to be balanced here. Sometimes we pay attention to the body, and sometimes there will be a lethargy. There will be sometimes don't want to do it, or sometimes you have got a lot of energy to practice meditation, and then you have a lot of faith and confidence to want to do it, and those time again you have to make balance on it. So that's why it is, when we look at the first discourse of the Buddha, do not go on two extremes. So keeping yourself in a balance is atapi. Okay? That is the second, the word, atapi. And here's another one, is called sampajano. Okay? And sampajano, again, it is a person. This is a person called sampajano. A person who has got a clear understanding or clear awareness. And another one is ability to comprehend things completely is sampajana. And I think in the English translation, what is it says here? Sampajana. Again, with awareness and constant thorough understanding of impermanence. So this is doesn't convey the real meaning. In Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation, or the Majjhima Nikaya, he translates fully aware, right? And which again I think is not a complete meaning of it. So sampajano is that you have a full awareness, you able to comprehend entire things what's happening in the moment here and now. Nothing left behind. You able to comprehend it. With this, you are gaining the wisdom. That's why I call it panya. That's why this is a part of the panya. And this panya is the bhavanamaya panya. That means the wisdom that you have experienced it through your own real understanding. That's called bhavanamaya panya. That's called sampajanya. And here sampajanya and sampajano. So here a person who has fully comprehended on the object, that is called a person who have understood. Okay? So that's why it's called sampajanya or sampajano. Right? So janya means knowledge. Okay? Ayana, jnana means knowledge. Sam means together or entire. That's why it's called sampajanya. And also we can use it as clear knowing. Right? Clear knowing. It's like a seed that you have fully understood entire seed of this knowledge. And here, the sampajanya only happens in the moment. Right? Here and now. So that's why I call it as a very sharp sword, samurai sword. Anything that arises, you're able to comprehend and you cut it there. So you have nothing to hold on to it. There is no, what is called, objectively you are discerning that. So it's like a deep understanding on each object that arises and able to see it as it is and leave it without any lingering on it. So that is Sampajanya. And now, the moment when you can do it, then you become Sampajanya. So this is a person who has. Now Satima, and again here Satima means person as well. Sati means, you remember Sati? What does the Sati means? Now we're talking about the Satipatthana and you want the Sati. So Sati, now, a popular understanding is remembering. Sati or Smriti in Sanskrit, and this word Smriti still used in Nepal and in India. Smriti means remembering or memory. So that is a popular use. And this Sati, that's why it's called Satipatthana. And when we talk about the Sati in a popular sense, it's talking about memory of the past. Memory of the past. Although nowadays it is translated as a mindfulness, and then translation is being mindful what's happening here and now, and with a non-judgmental. This is a translation now, English translation. But this Sati is memory of the past, or just if we just want to give an example, the real meaning of it is memory, remembering. And what are we remembering of? Remembering of the past. Right?
I am confused now, Jen. Because the real meaning of Sati is memory.
Yes.
The memory of the past.
So memory, when we talk about memory, obviously it's about the past.
It's the past.
Yeah.
But the way it's translated in English, it's mindfulness, the present moment, here and now.
Yeah.
So it's not the past.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's confusing.
So that's why when we talk about Satipatthana, then it becomes remembering the presentness.
Okay, now makes sense.
So that's what when we go into deeper, going into like when it comes together with the Sati Sampajanya, it's become a quality. At that time, again, Sati is, or this mindfulness is working in 3 different parts. Remembering the past, remembering the present, and then also remembering the future. Here, remembering the future sometimes can be very troublesome. And here, remembering the future is not like way, way beyond, but this is just remembering the future. In a sense, you know where you're going to, what you're going to be. Like you're here today, now, you know where you came from. So you remember. And then you know what are you doing now. So you remember. And then after finish it, you know where are you going to be. So that is called a Sati. And here, sampajanya is not like that. Sampajanya is just here. And this is when it comes together, sati sampajanya, the meaning is like that. Okay? So this is mindfulness. And now here you have the present moment awareness. Now this in this Satipatthana, sati means present moment awareness. And now you have awareness of this body in this moment here, in this sentence. And now you are Viharati, you're abiding with it, anusati, remembering it again and again in this moment here and now. So this is the completeness. Okay? And then by doing so, there is another 3 words. Yeah? Doing so, avidya domana, vinaya loke avidya domana sam. Loke here means world. And here, world doesn't mean the world outside. It doesn't mean the earth. It doesn't mean this entire universe. Right? Here, world is defining ourselves. Right? World is defining ourselves. And here, avidya domana sam. What is the translation here? Removed craving and aversion, towards the world. So here, of mind and matter. So here, craving and aversion. Now, normally, when we have concept of this body is me, this body is mine, and this is me, we have a craving. Right? And we will not be able to fully comprehend it because we have this concept of belongs to me. So you have a craving. And again, if that is not happening, now because this is my body, and then I want it to be young, I don't want it to be getting old. And then whenever I need something to feed. When I'm thirsty, but if not going according to it, I feel sad, aversion. Or covetousness is another word, which is hard word. This aversion. Now, in the practice, we have to give these 2 concepts, wanting and not wanting, regards of this body, while we are practicing. So here, from the beginning, when we are practicing, we are giving away of a greed and aversion of ourselves. That doesn't mean that we are able to give up completely in this stage. Although when we continue practice, eventually we will be able to do it at the end. Because in the Dhammanupassana, the contemplation or mindfulness of the phenomena, there comes. The first contemplation is the ability to let it go of this. It's called sensual pleasure and ill will. So that is the stage we will be able to let go completely. However, although we are not completely giving up this craving and aversion towards our body and our comfort and our likings, at least we have put away for some time. So that's why whenever I give instruction, I always say, leave your all responsibilities and duties aside. Just be your body here and now. And when we talk about leave your responsibilities and duties aside, it also in line with, there is another 10 different obstacles that is obstacle to practice meditation. So which we will go along the way. So that is also comes on that too. Because the moment when you are thinking of your work, you cannot meditate. And that also generates aversion. I'm here to meditate why I'm thinking of the job. So it creates aversion. Or thinking about the family. So that also you have both the greed or this craving towards going to live with the family, and then there's I am here and why I am thinking of my family. So this greed and craving and aversion comes as well. Same with the house, like this. There are 10 other obstacles. It's called a palipoda. Palipoda. And sometimes you may come to meditate if you're bringing with you all assignments or all your jobs. Then again you cannot meditate. These are the obstacles. So that also comes here. So you're leaving it aside. And then purely you're focusing on the body here. You are not going and while you are meditating, so it's like a one after another separation. You're paying attention to the body, and then after that you're paying attention to the feelings, and after that paying attention to the chitta, the mind, and then the phenomena. Separate. Paying attention to practicing separately one after another. And the reason behind we are practicing separately one after another, and now here again we have to go into different other suttas referring to untamed mind, untrained mind, or worldlings. And we've been so much engaged in our day-to-day life, in a worldly life, and our mind is so conditioned with the worldly affairs, and with this it will be very difficult to comprehend entire these teachings. And let's say, everything is anicca. Everything is made out of conditions and I have nothing to do with it. Now this is not me. It is not easy job to do. Because of this untrained and untamed, untrained worldling mind. So with that, and we are always looking at proofs, always need something that tangible, empirical, and instant results. And now here, that's why Buddha starts from the body. Because you can touch, you can feel, you can see. And this is a massive body. That's why he started from here. And paying attention to it is easy. And we know, okay, put your body in this way and that way, we can. Because this body is always moving in our will, in our wish. So it starts from the body. And then, in the practice of a body contemplation, within a few sessions, you will realize that there is a mind which is watching the body. Within a few sessions, you realize this body is one thing, my mind is another. You'll realize that. And even sometimes, quite easily, you can experience, where is my body? Despite of such a huge molecule, tangible, when you're meditating, when your mind becomes absorbed, it disappears. Where is my body? Yeah? And to feel this body, not to, let's say, feel, there is a feeling comes. Yeah? Vedana comes, the feeling. Now feeling becomes the bridge between this body and this mind. If there is no feeling, mind cannot feel it, cannot see this body. And then feeling becomes conditioned by the body. If there is no feeling, no body, then there is no feeling. So this is, you can see the three things already seen here without any trouble. Body, you see. How do you see? When you close your eyes? By feeling. Who is feeling? Your mind. So mind is there to feel the body. And now in this circle, now we are basically learning the true knowledge. These three things separate, not one thing. So body is not mind, so does the feeling. Then why are we having this emotional attachment? And because we still have this attachment that this body is me and mine. And we think that this mind is us. Mind also developed because conditioned by these feelings and this body. Yeah? And here, why do we have this attachment to this body? Why do we have this attachment to feelings? Why do we have attachment to myself? Because there is a sensual pleasure. Now see, the fourth, the Dhammanupassana, so the contemplation of the Dhamma, the phenomena, starts to unfold. And gradually we see, oh, this is conditioned. It is impermanent. This is a dukkha, the suffering. And we see the path. And we are able to free. Right? So, I end here today the introduction section. Right? And from next, we will go on to the Kaya-nupassana, section by section, little in detail. I found that this introduction is very important, just to see the whole background, what it is. And with that, after this is easy. After that, it's easy to understand what is going on here. This is the foundation that we have. Okay? Right, so before we do the loving kindness practice and finish off today's practice, Dave, anything anybody wants to add or ask? No? Okay. So let's practice loving kindness meditation to finish that. Relax yourself and bring your attention to the moment here and now, observing the body, presence here. Let's spend a few moments on tonight's discussion. And spend a few moments observing the bodily sensation. So we practice the loving kindness meditation. So bring your attention to feel the sensation in your body and to your hands. And to your heart. Feel the beating heart. And as you feel the beating heart and generating loving kindness and compassion for yourself, and sharing to yourself, I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near to your one,